SpeedCreate. Come on, gather friends, we're going to create some distant lands. In the sky and no one else. The fun will never end. It is SpeedCreate. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of SpeedCreate. This is episode 3, I do believe, and we are busy making help yourself here, making some beautiful trees, taking a break from the usual gameplay making. It does get old, especially if you spend like this is hour 5, so 4 hours making gameplay. It's like it's painful in large doses. I love doing gameplay, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's nice to have a break once in a while, just doing some nice little trees. So in this episode, spoilers, I'm going to make trees, you know, and also one gameplay bit. And this is the only gameplay bit which was not planned beforehand. And you know, it takes me about 2 hours to create it, and it's not really random that I happen to spend 2 hours on this one. It's just that I didn't plan it. And that just goes to show how nice planning is. Just going back to episode 1. Do plan your stuff, guys and girls and people. It's handy. I like it. So that's some super sweet trees, man. Past me have these so right. I love those trees. I wish I could make a level like that. I won't go into this a lot, but that scenery is really interesting. It's like smooth, like peanut butter. Anyway, I'm only doing gameplay. This one gameplay bit here, and it's not really a really good gameplay bit either, because my friend commented, I can't remember who it was, damn it, but an awesome friend commented, was like, this is really basic stuff and you're having it as the almost last one, gameplay obstacles, and he was so right. And I was like, oh, I wish I had planned this beforehand. Alright, enough about planning. I'm just saying, planning is pretty cool, you know. Yeah, but I was going to talk about gameplay consistency in this episode. Maybe I'll do a sort of back and forth episode. So one episode can be about me seriously trying to teach you guys something, and one can be about me just do you random derp like usual SpeedCreate is. Yeah, but gameplay consistency. So in pretty much all games. And in LBP also, and in Mario or whatever, everything, just get used to it. You will find very nice gameplay consistency, and it's just a word I made up. I don't know, I haven't read anything about this, I'm just freaking thinking here. But what I mean by that is that the levels and story handles one thing at a time. For example, it will handle the basic stuff first, and then it'll add on to that, but it doesn't really introduce the basic stuff, and then other stuff, and then other stuff, all at once in the first level, unless it's a bad game. I don't know, I don't really like levels that introduces, I mean, if there is a game with a lot of, you know, if there's something, if there's like 5 different superpowers that you have, you can fly, you can double jump, and you can shoot flowers, and the tutorial teaches you all these things, but you don't really shoot flowers till the 3rd level in the game. But the tutorial has to teach you everything at once. That's so stupid. Anyway, but everything is taught gradually, and it becomes harder, and it's wonderful. And LBP does this too very well in the story, and everybody is introduced to the gameplay stuff, and it's very nice. But when you make a community level, it's sort of a weird side thing. I mean, it gets kind of weird because everybody already knows if you're doing sort of the usual generic gameplay that a lot of people do. No offense to anybody doing that, you're still an awesome person, but if you do that, people would already know how to handle your obstacles, so you don't really have to take that learning curve into account. So you can do whatever, you can jump between stuff and do whatever power-ups you like. You can have like the first obstacle to be a grapple hook and the second to be a grabinator. But that is what I consider bad gameplay consistency, and something you should avoid. I think what you need to do is to ask yourself why am I putting this in? And what you need to have is a gameplay core, a gameplay idea, an idea what to play with, what to try and convey with the gameplay, what direction you're going in. It can be very simple, like I want to do a level where you play around with bubbles. What happens when a player pops a bubble, and how can I use that against the player? How can I use that with the player? You know, you can do a lot of stuff with bubbles. I have a lot of ideas for that, but you can fire catapults and stuff, whatever. Or you can have like, I want a level that utilizes speed very much. You know, a lot of levels does that. Or I want a level that have a lot of flow and it's just easy to play. You know, it doesn't have to be revolutionary, but you need a core. And I played a level pretty recently, and it was basically a lot of different ideas that were just sort of taped together. And they weren't very original ideas, mind you. They were just bad ideas. Like, oh, I'm gonna do generic gameplay with this power-up, and then I'm gonna do some generic gameplay with this power-up and this power-up. And you should avoid that. But you can also have really original gameplay with power-ups, but I still think you should try and focus it on a theme, a gameplay theme. You might have like 3 ideas with a gravinator and 3 ideas with a random power-up, a random crate-nated power-up, and maybe you could save those ideas and save up on them and wait until you have a full level for each of them. Or maybe make mini levels, but I do not think you should make the same level. Make them part of the same level. I don't think that is the way to go, to be honest. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And as all of the things I have learned through my mistakes, and I totally have a sweet example where I did this very thing and I've done it a lot in the past. It was this one level I did called woody platforming, and it's not because I am a dirty person, it's because it was a lot of wooden level, so don't hate me. No, but it was a level, and I don't know, I sort of just went wild with random ideas. And first you platformed, and there was a LBP 1 bounce pad. There was a random cowboy head going, "Welcome to my wood world." And we are, by the way, in hour 6 now. Nice. That's 25% done. Whoop whoop. Anyway, so what was I? Yeah, there was this. You jumped on an enemy and you went up, and suddenly you had to. You had to sort of try and run through a place that went dark and light, and it went light when you pressed the button. So we were trying to sort of get through that, and there was a part where you jumped on paintinator shots, and then there was a part where you rode on a car and tried to jump over things, over sort of gas things, and there was a part where the level created itself. Oh man, I was so proud of that. So and there was also a multiplayer part where it had nothing to do with the rest of the level, and that is a very good example of what not to do. Do not do random stuff you just come up on the spot. Plan your level, get an idea of what kind of gameplay you want to do and why you want to do it, and then have everything in the level strive to realize that. I will talk more about goals and stuff in another episode because I have a lot to talk about, but yeah, just don't. And also, there's also a very common, for me, this is not really a subject, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway because I'm that cool. For me, I used to have this really, I would have this idea and I would create it, and while I created it I was like, whoa, it'd be totally cool if you could do this with the idea. So what I wanted to do was to combine the idea with another idea, and it'll be totally awesome. But what I did was that when you first met the idea, it was also combined with these other crazy ideas. There were 2 ideas combined, and you had to sort of figure both of them out at the same time, instead of just teaching the player one of them, teaching the player the other idea, and then combining them into sweet fusion. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Let the players learn the stuff from the beginning and introduce it from the beginning. That can be hard. You know, teach the player the basics of your gameplay gimmick when you just want to go wild with it and go nuts and like, oh, show them what you can do with it. But you need to do that stuff. That's important, and that's really hard to do, you know. I had trouble teaching the players the basic stuff in this level. You know, that's a challenge. Thinking to yourself, what is the simplest way one can use this gameplay mechanic? What is the first thing I want to teach people? Might as well take this level for an example while I'm creating a tree, trying to get away from the gameplay hell I have put myself in. What I do was that first I want to teach the player that you know, you get a create nature, so naturally going, okay, I can shoot something. So you want to try and shoot something. So you want to hit a button, and so I put out a button, and I placed the button in a different layer in the final version, but in the first version it was like in the roof just. So you use the sackbot to shoot there, and you're like, oh, it shoots myself, that's weird. And in the next part, that is actually in the main level, you come to this point where you have to shoot over a block, and then there's a button on the block. And when you shoot over the block, because there's points that you want to get or whatever, I don't know. People will do it, I don't know why. I'm not a master here. But players will be, I mean, the bot will be there and you will move and you will see that, oh my god, the bot moved when I moved. And you will try and go back with the bot, hit the button, which then also teaches you that you can jump. The bot will also jump, that's very nice. And then you can proceed. And as you proceed, the bot will be on the right of you. And I have placed bubbles there. And that way you get teach that the bot can also grab bubbles. And then there's the L1 equals R1 section. Man, I should probably be showing this in the actual video also, how instead of just trees. Oh well, if you played the level you know what I mean, if you haven't you should play the level. And I also teach the grab stuff there. Anyway, I teach all the stuff very early, just get it done. And you know, I could have delayed some of the stuff maybe if the gameplay hadn't always used it. I mean, the gameplay uses all three mechanics for whatever all the time. It never lets up. They are needed for the whole level. So I need to teach that immediately. But of course, if some of the stuff will only be used in half level, for example, if I, for whatever stupid freaking reason, gave the bot a double jump, I would only teach that in a part where the bot needs a double jump, maybe. But if the bot does have a double jump, then that is probably pretty central to the whole gameplay thing. That changes everything. I don't like really adding features in the middle of the level just like that, because you need to have an explanation in the story, and it's really a lot of work for that. Not worth it. Oh, by the way, let's just leave that boring subject. This part right here, it's like one of my favorite parts in the whole level. It's so freaking awesome. If you watched the other SpeedCreate episodes, in some episode, I don't know, I used this exact gameplay idea in the multiplayer stuff. Oh, it was Sophia and Niklas, I think I called the level, but I didn't give it a name, did I? But two players sort of go at each and time it right, and then they can grab each other in the middle and get through. And I used that here, oh my god! And it was so freaking satisfying, and I didn't think it would work, but it totally worked! So that was like best thing ever. I was so happy. So anyway. Yeah, what was I going to say? I was going on about gameplay consistency and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I should totally summarize it before the episode ends. Okay, here we go. Part 1. You should totally have a gameplay core, a goal, an idea of what gameplay you want to use. Don't just go blindly in there, plan your stuff. And if you're going to use something, you should use it the whole level, or at least most of the level. Not freaking 10 power-ups, just 1 or 2 at their maximum, because player will get confused and it's bad. 2. Do the simple fast stuff first, and if you're gonna combine 2 ideas, do it when you have introduced them both properly, and let the players know what they're doing. Herp-a-derp, awesome. I hope you've enjoyed this 3rd episode of SpeedCreate. And this may all seem very obvious stuff, but we are all amateur designers and we have a lot to learn. So we need to take the obvious stuff down and then we can move on to the pro stuff like point bubble placement, herder. I know what I'm doing. I hope you enjoyed this episode of SpeedCreate. I hope you learned something. I don't know what, but learn something. Next episode will come at some point in time. I will see you. Have fun, comment there. Bye!